The first thing people notice about Centralia, Pennsylvania, is the silence. Not normal silence. Not peaceful silence. The kind of silence that feels alive. The kind that makes you feel like something underground is listening to every step you take. Most Americans know Centralia because of the underground fire. A real coal fire burning beneath the town since 1962. Smoke rises from cracks in the earth. Roads split apart from the heat. Entire neighborhoods disappeared. The government relocated almost everyone decades ago. Today, officially, almost nobody lives there. But according to truck drivers, hikers, and paranormal investigators, Centralia is not empty after dark. People hear voices in the smoke. They see figures standing inside the fog. And some visitors claim the ground itself whispers to them. I didn't believe any of it. At least not before the night we entered the town. It started 3 days earlier in Pittsburgh. Tyler was editing footage in our apartment, while Marcus scrolled through abandoned locations online. Then he stopped. Guys! I looked up from my laptop. Marcus turned the screen toward us. An old forum page filled with comments about Centralia. One comment stood out immediately. Do not go there after midnight. The fire isn't the worst part. Tyler laughed. That sounds fake already. But Marcus kept reading. Another comment. The people in the smoke are not ghosts. Then another. If you hear knocking under the road, run. Lisa arrived an hour later. The second we mentioned Centralia, she went quiet. And that scared me more than any ghost story. Lisa never got scared. She'd explored abandoned hospitals in Ohio, old prisons in West Virginia, collapsed mining tunnels in Nevada. But Centralia made her nervous. You don't understand that place, she said quietly. Marcus smirked. It's just a ghost town. Lisa shook her head immediately. No, ghost towns are abandoned. Then she looked directly at us. Centralia still feels occupied. Nobody joked after that, but we still decided to go. That was our mistake. The drive into Pennsylvania started normally enough. Busy highways, gas stations, fast food stops. But 6 hours later, things changed. The roads became emptier. The forest became thicker. And the sky turned dark gray long before sunset. Rain started falling softly across the windshield, while Tyler checked directions again. You realize there's basically nothing around this town? Lisa nodded from the back seat. Most people avoid the area. Marcus laughed nervously. Good sign already. The GPS signal died 20 minutes later. Not weak. Gone completely. Every screen inside the SUV froze. Then restarted. Then froze again. Tyler frowned. That's weird. Marcus looked outside. The trees surrounding the road looked endless now. Dark pine forest stretching into fog. No houses. No lights. No signs of civilization. Just road. Then we saw the first warning sign. Road damage ahead. Beneath it, somebody spray-painted words in red. Turn back before dark. Marcus laughed softly. People really love horror movie warnings around here. But nobody answered him. Because ahead of us, smoke was rising from the ground. Real smoke. Thick gray smoke drifting across the road. Tyler rolled down the window slightly. The smell hit instantly. Burning coal. Sulfur. Heat. It smells like something's cooking underground, he whispered. Lisa stared ahead quietly. That's because something is. The closer we got, the hotter the air became. Not summer heat. Different. Dry. Heavy. Like opening an oven. Then the trees ended, and Centralia appeared. Or what remained of it. The town looked dead. Not abandoned. Dead. Broken roads twisted through empty neighborhoods. Telephone poles leaned sideways. Burned foundations sat where houses used to stand. Smoke drifted from cracks in the earth everywhere. The sky above the town looked darker somehow, like the smoke itself blocked sunlight. Tyler whispered, "This place looks unreal." Marcus checked the time. 7:14 p.m. The sun was already disappearing behind the hills. "We should move fast," he said. We parked near the old highway outside town. The road itself looked destroyed. Huge cracks split the asphalt apart. Smoke curled upward from deep openings in the ground. Graffiti covered the broken pavement. Most of it looked normal, until Tyler found one message painted across the road in massive black letters. It hears you below. Marcus frowned. Okay, who writes this stuff? Lisa didn't answer. She was staring at the smoke, watching it carefully. Then she whispered something. What? Lisa pointed slowly. Shapes moved inside the smoke. At first I thought it was just shifting fog. Then one shape stopped moving. A human figure. Tall, standing motionless inside the smoke, watching us. Tyler immediately raised the camera. Did you get that? The figure disappeared instantly. Marcus forced a laugh. Okay, weird visual effect. Cool. But his voice sounded shaky now. The town itself felt wrong. No birds. No insects. No wind. Only silence. And beneath the silence, something else. A low, distant sound. Almost too quiet to hear. Knocking. Knock. 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 Coming from underground. Tyler looked down slowly. Please tell me that's pipes. Lisa shook her head. There are no pipes here anymore. The knocking stopped suddenly. Then came a whisper. Soft. Faint. Help. Marcus froze. Tyler slowly lowered the camera. The whisper came again. This time closer. Help us. The smoke beside the road thickened suddenly. And for one horrifying second, faces formed inside it. Pale faces. Dozens of them. Watching us silently. Then the smoke shifted again. Gone. Marcus stepped backward immediately. Nope. Lisa whispered, we should leave. That surprised all of us. Lisa never wanted to leave investigations early, but she looked genuinely afraid now. Then the church bell rang somewhere deep inside town. Boom. The sound echoed across Centralia. Tyler jumped. What the hell was that? Lisa looked pale. There shouldn't be any churches left standing. But there was. At the far end of town, through the smoke, we could see it. A church steeple rising above the fog. The church stood alone at the edge of Centralia, like something waiting for us. Every other building nearby looked collapsed or burned away. But somehow, the church still stood untouched. Its white paint was peeling. Windows were dark, and smoke drifted around it constantly like fog circling prey. Marcus stared at it nervously. That thing looks cursed. Tyler zoomed the camera in. The front doors were open slightly, moving slowly back and forth. Creak, creak, but there was no wind. Lisa looked uneasy. That church shouldn't even exist anymore. Nobody spoke for a second. Then the bell rang again. Boom. The sound echoed through the empty town like a warning. Marcus whispered, tell me we're not going inside. Of course we went inside. That's what curiosity does. It convinces you fear is just imagination. We crossed a cracked road carefully while smoke drifted around our legs. The closer we got to the church, the hotter the ground became. I could feel heat through my boots. Tyler stopped suddenly. Guys! Fresh footprints covered the dirt near the entrance. Bare footprints. Human. Marcus frowned. There are actually people here? The footprints led directly inside. Lisa whispered, or something pretending to be people. That sentence stayed in my head as we stepped into the church. The air inside was freezing, completely opposite from outside. Old wooden pews filled the room beneath layers of dust. Burn marks covered the walls. Several stained glass windows were shattered. But the strangest thing, candles burned near the altar. Fresh candles. Marcus immediately noticed. Okay, somebody's definitely here. Tyler panned the camera slowly across the room. The church looked abandoned, yet occupied at the same time, like someone still used it after dark. Then we heard singing. Soft singing echoing from somewhere deeper inside the church. A choir. Low voices humming together. Beautiful, but wrong somehow. Tyler whispered, do you hear that? The singing got louder, but there was nobody visible anywhere. Marcus slowly backed toward the entrance. We need to go. Then the church bell rang directly above us. Boom! The entire building shook violently. Dust rained from the ceiling. Tyler nearly dropped the camera. What the hell? The choir stopped instantly. Dead silence filled the church. Then, footsteps echoed above us. Heavy footsteps crossing the second floor balcony. One step at a time. All of us looked up. Nobody there. But the footsteps continued. Marcus whispered, "Nope." The footsteps stopped directly above us. Then every candle inside the church exploded brighter. Whoosh! Flames filled the room instantly. And standing behind the altar was a woman, pale skin, black burned dress, long dark hair covering part of her face. She stood perfectly still watching us. Tyler whispered, "Oh my God!" Her eyes looked wrong, completely black, like empty holes. Lisa stared in horror. "That's impossible." The woman slowly raised one arm and pointed toward the floor beneath the altar. A small trapdoor sat there slightly open. Smoke drifted from underneath it. Then the woman smiled. Not normal. Too wide. Far too wide. And every candle went out instantly. Darkness swallowed the church. Marcus shouted, "Run!" We sprinted toward the exit. But the church doors slammed shut by themselves. Boom! Tyler crashed into them trying to open them. Locked. The choir singing returned instantly. Now louder, surrounding us from every direction. Lisa whispered, "There's nobody here." Then whispering started beneath the floorboards. Hundreds of voices, soft, begging, "Help us." Marcus stepped backward. The trapdoor beneath the altar slowly creaked open wider. Hot orange light glowed from below, like fire burning underground. Then something climbed halfway up the stairs. A hand, burned black, human fingers scraping against wood. Tyler screamed, "Open the door!" Marcus slammed against the church doors repeatedly. Nothing moved. The burned hand kept climbing upward slowly. Then another hand appeared. Then another. Figures were climbing from underground, shapes made of ash and smoke, their eyes glowing orange from inside. Lisa whispered, "Oh, God!" The first figure fully emerged from the trapdoor. A burned man, skin cracked black like charcoal, smoke drifting from his mouth. He stared directly at us, then spoke, "You shouldn't be here." His voice sounded like burning wood snapping apart. The other figures kept climbing upward behind him. More burned people. Dozens. Marcus finally forced the church doors open. Cold air exploded inside. "Move!" We ran outside into the smoke-covered streets again. But Centralia looked different now. The smoke was thicker, the sky darker, and figures stood everywhere between the buildings, watching silently. Tyler looked terrified. The whole town changed. Then the ground beneath us shook. A deep, rumbling rolled beneath the streets. Cracks spread across the road ahead. Orange light glowed from below. Marcus backed away. The ground is opening. The asphalt split apart violently. Smoke burst upward. And from deep underground, we heard screaming. Not one voice. Hundreds. Tyler stared into the crack. Shapes moved far below inside the fire. People. Burning people walking beneath the town. Then something whispered directly beside my ear. "Come below." I spun around instantly. Nobody there. But the smoke beside me formed a face. Watching me. Smiling. Then gone again. Marcus grabbed my arm. "We're leaving now." We ran blindly through Centralia while the whispers followed us through the smoke. But no matter which road we took, we somehow kept returning to the church. Again and again, like the town itself wouldn't let us leave. Every road in Centralia led back to the church. It didn't matter where we ran. North, south, down broken streets, through empty neighborhoods. Eventually the smoke cleared just enough, and the church appeared again. Waiting. Marcus finally snapped. "This town is messing with us." Tyler's hands shook while holding the camera. We should have left hours ago. Lisa looked completely pale now. "No." She stared toward the church. "I think it wants us here." Lightning flashed across the dark sky overhead, and for one horrifying second, we saw figures standing on every rooftop around us. Burned silhouettes, watching silently. Then darkness returned. The whispers started again, not distant anymore. Right beside us. "Stay. You belong here." Below, Marcus covered his ears. Make it stop. Then the church bell rang again. Boom! This time the sound physically hurt. The streets vibrated beneath our feet. Smoke burst from cracks everywhere around town. And through the smoke, we saw them. Dozens of burned figures slowly walking toward us from every direction. Not running. Walking. Like they knew escape was impossible. Tyler whispered, "They're surrounding us." Lisa suddenly pointed down the road. There! An old mining building stood, half collapsed near the edge of town. A faded sign still hung above the entrance. Centralia Mining Company. Marcus didn't hesitate. Go! We sprinted toward it, while the burned figures followed silently behind us. The mining building looked ready to collapse. Rust covered every surface. Broken equipment lay scattered everywhere. But inside, a staircase descended underground. Lisa froze instantly. No. Marcus stared at her. No what? Her voice trembled. This is where it started. Tyler looked confused. What started? Lisa swallowed hard. The miners found something underground before the fires began. Thunder exploded outside. The burned figures appeared through the smoke near the entrance now. Closer. Watching. Marcus grabbed a flashlight. Underground is better than dying out here. Then one of the burned figures spoke from outside the doorway. You can't leave. Its mouth never moved. Smoke simply drifted from its face, forming words. Tyler whispered, "That's not human." The figures kept approaching slowly. Marcus made the decision for all of us. Downstairs. Now! We descended into the mine. Darkness swallowed us instantly. The temperature changed again. Hot above ground. Freezing below. Water dripped somewhere deep inside the tunnels. Old mining tracks stretched through the darkness ahead. Tyler aimed the camera around nervously. This place feels wrong. Then our lights revealed something carved into walls. Messages. Hundreds of messages scratched into stone. Don't listen to them. The fire's alive. It wears their voices. Marcus whispered, "Oh my God!" Lisa slowly touched one carving. These are decades old. Then we heard knocking again. Closer now. Knock, knock, knock. Coming from deeper underground. Tyler pointed ahead. The tunnel split into two directions. One tunnel looked collapsed. The other glowed faint orange. Smoke drifted from it slowly. Marcus frowned. That's the fire. Lisa shook her head. No. Her voice became barely audible. That's something else. Then we heard footsteps behind us. All of us spun around. Burned figures stood at the top of the stairs now, watching silently from the darkness. Blocking the exit, Marcus whispered, "We're trapped." The figures didn't move. They simply watched us, smiling. Then all of them spoke together. Below, the glowing tunnel suddenly echoed with whispering. Hundreds of voices calling our names. Some sounded familiar. Some sounded like dead relatives. Then I heard my father's voice. Perfectly. "David." My blood froze. My father died 6 years earlier. The voice came again. "Help me?" Tyler grabbed my shoulder immediately. It's not real. But it sounded real. Too real. Marcus whispered. It knows things about us. The orange glow inside the tunnel brightened suddenly, and heat rolled through the mine like breath. Then something massive moved deep underground. The entire tunnel trembled. Dust fell from the ceiling. Lisa looked horrified. "It's awake." Marcus stared at her. "What is awake?" Before she could answer, a scream echoed through the tunnels. Not human. Too deep. Too loud. The burned figures at the stairs suddenly bowed their heads together, like worshippers. Then the glowing tunnel whispered again. "Come below." Tyler slowly backed away. "We need another way out." But the mine behind us began collapsing. Rock crashed into the tunnels. The exit disappeared beneath falling debris. Dust exploded everywhere. Marcus stared in horror. There's no way back now. Silence followed. Heavy silence. Then the whispers became louder. Closer. More excited. Like something underground knew we were trapped. The tunnel beneath Centralia felt endless. The deeper we walked, the less human the place became. Old mining beams disappeared. Rail tracks ended. Soon the walls looked carved by something ancient, not machines. Something alive. The orange glow ahead pulsed slowly now, like a heartbeat. Tyler whispered, "Do you guys hear breathing?" At first I thought it was just a fire. Then I realized he was right. Something deep underground was breathing. Slow, massive. Marcus tightened his grip on the flashlight. I want out of this town. Nobody answered, because all of us understood something terrible now. Centralia wasn't haunted. The town was feeding something underground. The whispers became louder as we moved deeper. Some voices begged us to turn back. Others invited us forward. Join us. Stay. Below. Then the tunnel opened suddenly into a gigantic underground cavern, and every one of us froze. The cavern looked impossible. Massive cracks filled the ground, glowing with underground fire. Smoke drifted upward endlessly, and surrounding the cavern stood thousands of burned figures, completely motionless, watching us. Tyler whispered, "Oh my God!" Every figure slowly turned toward us at the exact same time. Perfect synchronization. The whispers stopped instantly. Dead silence filled the cavern. Then we saw it. At the center of the cavern, something enormous moved beneath the smoke. Not fully visible, just shape, movement. A massive dark form breathing beneath the glowing cracks. Marcus stepped backward slowly. No! The ground trembled with every breath it took. Lisa stared in horror. The miners didn't start the fire. Tyler looked at her. Then what did? The smoke at the center of the cavern rose higher, forming shapes, faces, thousands of faces screaming silently inside the smoke. Then a voice echoed through the cavern. Deep, ancient, you open the earth. Every burned figure dropped to their knees instantly. The voice continued. And now you belong to me. Marcus shouted, "Run." The burned figures rose simultaneously, then charged toward us. Fast, far too fast. Tyler screamed while filming wildly. The cavern exploded into chaos. Smoke swallowed everything. Burned hands reached through the darkness, grabbing at us. Whispers became screams. The massive thing beneath the earth started moving upward. The glowing cracks widened. Orange fire burst from underground. Lisa shouted, "This way!" We followed her blindly through another tunnel, while the cavern collapsed behind us. Rock crashed everywhere. Heat blasted through the tunnels. Tyler nearly fell as the ground shook violently beneath us. Marcus screamed, "Move, move, move." Then the whispers changed. Now they sounded angry, furious. "You cannot leave." The tunnel ahead suddenly filled with smoke figures blocking our path. Dozens of burned people standing shoulder to shoulder, smiling. Marcus swung his flashlight wildly. The figures didn't move. Then all of them opened their mouths together. Black smoke poured from inside. Tyler whispered, "They're not people." Lisa spotted a narrow opening beside the tunnel wall. "There!" We squeezed through the crack one at a time while the smoke figures rushed toward us screaming. The sound was unbearable, like thousands of people burning alive underground. The narrow passage climbed upward steeply. Cold air hit us suddenly. "Fresh air," Marcus shouted. "We're close." Then something grabbed Tyler's leg from the darkness behind us. He screamed violently. A burned hand pulled him backward. Tyler dropped the camera. I grabbed his arm immediately. Marcus grabbed me. Together we pulled him free, while the burned figure hissed from the darkness below. Its face looked melted, eyes glowing orange. "You heard us below." Then the passage collapsed behind it. Rock sealed the tunnel shut. Silence followed instantly. Heavy breathing filled the darkness. Then we saw a moonlight ahead, the surface. We climbed out onto the broken highway outside Centralia just before sunrise. Smoke drifted quietly across the empty road. The town behind us looked still again, dead, silent, like none of it happened. Marcus collapsed on the cracked asphalt, breathing heavily. Tyler stared at the camera still clutched in his hands. The lens was cracked. Burn marks covered the side. Lisa looked towards Centralia one final time. "It's still down there." Nobody answered, because deep beneath the earth, we heard it again. Knock, knock. Knock. Breathing beneath the town. Waiting. And then Tyler checked the footage. Most of it was corrupted. Static. Black screens. Distorted audio. But one clip remained clear. The underground cavern. Frame by frame. The camera captured the massive shape beneath the smoke. And for one horrifying second, the thing opened one giant glowing eye, looking directly into the camera. Then the recording ended. Tyler deleted the footage that same morning. Marcus refuses to even say the name Centralia anymore. Lisa stopped investigating haunted places completely. And me? Sometimes late at night, I still smell smoke in my apartment. Sometimes I hear whispers beneath the floor. And every now and then, right before falling asleep, I hear knocking under my bed. Slow, patient, waiting for me to come below.